All right. So for class today, we're going to work on our shoulders. So it'll really be thinking about breathing into your chest and your upper back. I mean, rather than like specifically like shoulder muscles, although we'll use those in class today to help us like feel what's happening. But we're going to do 2 exercises at the beginning, one to help open up your chest and then one to help open up your upper back. And then those things should help us be able to get more mobility through our shoulders. So it'll make our scapula move a little bit better. It'll make sure that we've got a little bit of that rounding happening through the upper part of our back, which again is really key in making sure that our scapula can move, because remember they're a little bit rounded, so we got to have that little bit of rounding through the upper back. And then of course we'll continue to focus on engaging your side abdominals to help support that. So we'll focus a lot on being in a position and then breathing and seeing how that feels in through your nose. And then like breathing into your chest and your upper back. Of course, the belly will happen as well, but like we really want to focus on chest and upper back today. Okay, that sound okay? So for class today, we're gonna need a blanket, which I will grab for us. So like a small blanket or kind of a small pillow that we can like sushi roll up. So a bolster is usually what we do this with in like a regular yoga class, but it's a little too much for the height's a little too much for what we're going to need this for. So we need something a little bit less than that. So 2 blocks and a bolster. Oh, yeah, I can see that you're messaging me. Is any of this important to read right now? Yes, it's all on the shoulder. All right, let me grab a blanket and then we'll get started.
You have one here.
I have a blanket. Oh yeah, that's right. We'll match this by Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is just take a seat and do some breathing and take a moment to notice how things feel. So sit up nice and tall, find your sit bones. Remember that's ischial tuberosities, making sure that we can feel the stacks. When you get your sits bones, and the rib cage should come right over the pelvis, and the shoulders right over the rib cage, and the head right over the shoulders. And let's take a breath in through our nose. And a nice big open mouth exhale. Good. Okay, so we'll just take a couple of normal breaths here. I mean, normal yoga breaths, I guess. And see if you can start to bring your awareness to your upper back. So just above the shoulder blades here, seeing how that moves. And then your chest. Now, we don't want to only breathe there. You also want to have your belly and rib cage expanding, but are you able to get some air into these places as well? And does it feel like when you're breathing in, those thoughts in your body are going up, like towards the ceiling, or are they going out, away from you? And you really want to have things going out and away from you rather than straight up. That means we're actually getting expansion rather than we're using our muscles to help pull air into those places. Does that make sense? So we really want to focus on, the breath going there naturally rather than we're using some kind of compensation method to get there, which for, some of us might be our neck and our shoulder areas and our jaw. So, looking at a couple of us in particular, those are things we want to watch out for. Good. Okay, so we sort of have a feel for what that's like. Let's just take a moment to roll out our shoulders, do a little roll out through the neck before we get into these different exercises. So nice big breath in. Nice slow exhale. Good. Swapping directions. So you can feel into your neck and shoulder muscles, noticing if anything there specifically is tight, and go ahead and roll the shoulders a couple of times. You might notice one side specifically. Good. And then reverse your shoulder rolls. Nice. Warming up these areas. Let's pull one arm across and then just gently take the other arm at the upper part of your arm and just gently pull it to you. And then ear drops away from your shoulder, so towards your hand. So take a big breath in there. Nice slow exhale. Do that one more time, big breath in. Nice big exhale. Good, and we'll roll that side out. And then we'll swap. Just nice and easy, gently pulling the arm in towards your chest, ear away from that shoulder, so towards your hands. And take a breath in. And back out. Good, try that one more time. Make sure you can still feel your sits bones as you're doing this. Big breath in. Nice big exhale. Good, come on out, circle it out. Nice. Okay, and then let's come into our tabletop position. So we're gonna start here with getting a little bit of awareness into those side abdominals. So bring your hands right underneath your shoulders, hips right over your knees. Take a breath in. Now, instead of this, when you exhale, instead of tucking your chin towards your chest and pushing into cat pose, you're gonna keep your eyes at your fingertips on your exhale. So take a breath in, and then exhale, press into the inside. Feel a little back stretching. Happening there, some stretching through your chest. Let's try one more set of those. So come back to the middle, take a breath in. Reverse shoulders right over the hands. Gaze at your fingertips. Exhale, round and push your hands into the ground. Try to keep your sternum parallel to the ground. So you're not tucking your chin and rounding through that upper back. You want to get right into the middle part of your back. Think these side abdominals helping to pull low ribs and pelvis closer together. So that space between like your bra line and your lower back, that's what's really pressing up towards the ceiling. Good. Continue breathing. Blow up your balloon on your exhale. Good. Do two more like that. Make sure your neck doesn't help you, your chin doesn't help you. Breathe in. Big blow up. One more time. Big breath in. Purse your lips. Blow up your balloon. Good. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze forward, relax. Woo, shake it up. Good. Everybody feel that a little bit? Yeah. Good, good, good. Okay. And then now we're going to get into our upper back expansion. So that one on our hands and knees gets that middle part of your back, also gives you some chest expansion because we're rounding and creating more space in the chest. And then we're going to do a variation of a a supported fish to help stretch through our upper back. So you're going to take your blanket and we're going to make a little sushi roll. I think we've all done this before in this class, so you guys can have the idea there. A little sushi roll, we're going to put it basically from sacrum to your neck on the floor, and then you want your two blocks to be at arm's length distance. So I've set this up on the floor. I'm going to put my head kind of here between the blocks, and then I'm going to lay down on the floor with my hands back in this like goalpost position. And then we want to support your hands. So I don't want anybody to be arching their backs, trying to reach the floor with their hands. That's the exact opposite of what we're trying to do. So you're going to keep your back on the ground. You're going to have goalpost arms and then support your hands with your blocks. Okay? More instructions in a second once we get there. So everybody laying down on the ground. Nice. And we'll find the right position for the backs of your hands to just rest on those blocks. Try to be elbows at about shoulder height. And the knees are going to bend. So once you get in the right position, have your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Yeah, perfect. Good. Okay, so make sure that you have this sense that your upper back especially is just kind of relaxing. It shouldn't feel like a huge stretch. Now take a breath in. On your exhale, gently tuck your tailbone. You get a little bit of that lifting tailbone, but your lower back stays pressing into your suture roll blanket, and then press a little bit into your heels to help support that. So try again, take a breath in. And then as you exhale, a little pressure into your heels, little tailbone tuck, a little bit of side ab engagement. So we're gonna pause here and breathe. Continue just like that, in through your nose. And then purse your lips a little like a straw or balloon. Make sure your neck doesn't help. Keep that nice and relaxed. Pause at the very bottom of your exhale for about a 3 count before you start again. So we're allowing the diaphragm to be in that ascended position, allowing it to feel what it's like to be up and relaxed. And then we breathe in again. And then open mouth. Out through the lips. Find those side abdominals. Try to keep some tension in your side abs the whole time. In through your nose. Blow up your balloon on your exhale. Got lower back into the ground, but tailbone still lifting, so we help keep that engagement. Breathe in. Blow up your balloon. A little bit of pressure into your heels, just a little, like 2 out of 10. Feeling that tailbone lift. 2 more. Breathe in. All the way out. Remember, at the bottom of the exhale, we're going to pause for about a 3 count. Tongue can go to the roof of your mouth to help relax. Keep it there as you breathe in. And then remove it as you breathe out. Tongue up, pause. 3, 2, 1. Breathe in and relax everything back down again. Nice job, everybody. Okay, so that should feel a little bit better through your upper back and your arms. We'll notice that in a second. My favorite way to get out of this is just to gently roll to one side, pull that blanket out from underneath you, and then we'll take a second to hug your knees in toward your chest and just find a little bit of movement. Good. So we didn't do this time, but you could always do a pre-test and a post-test with these exercises. It would just be laying flat on the ground and letting your hands touch the ground forward and back and finding out what your internal and external rotation in the shoulder joint looks like today. Hopefully now it should look pretty great. Good. So that's, remember, helping to make sure we've got a little rounding through our upper back to make sure that our scapula can move nicely and we're breathing into those spaces. So let's take your hands behind your thighs, rock and roll yourself up to a seat. Take a second to sit here and once again, just notice how it feels to be in this position. And take a couple of breaths. See if you can, again, bring your awareness to your chest and your upper back to get a little bit more movement there. And again, we're looking for breath to come out away from us, not up. You can take a hand to your upper back and see if you can feel that. Or your chest. Remember, belly should be moving, diaphragm's moving, rib cage is moving, all of it together. So we're using all of these mechanics to breathe. All right, so we'll kind of keep our focus there as we bring that into a couple of different positions here in our class today. So we'll make our way into tabletop from here. So gently rolling forward. We'll come into a couple more cat-cows. So we'll inhale, dropping gaze forward. You can keep that position we were doing earlier as you exhale round into cat. Especially if you know you use your neck to help here, you can keep that neutral gaze at your fingertips. And then inhale, dropping the belly. Again, you can keep your gaze neutral here as well if you want. And then exhale. And round, just starting to bring awareness to those places that we tend to fall to compensate. And making these side abs work instead. But one more time, inhale, dropping gaze forward. See if this feels a little different. Maybe you can feel the breath moving in your chest a little bit more. Exhale, round. Good, come back to neutral spine. We're gonna take a couple thoracic twists here. So let's keep our right hand planted on the ground. We'll take left hand behind your back. And then make sure that your right hand is stacked right underneath your shoulder so it feels really stable and you can press into the ground and create that nice tension in this joint to help stabilize it. And then as you inhale, we'll lift left elbow up and then exhale, try to tuck it under. And again, try not to make your neck do the work here, but instead you want that middle part of your spine to be moving. So think a little bit below the shoulder blades. So we'll keep going. Exhale is the round and the tuck under. Inhale is the lift up. So looking for as much of the middle part of that spine to move as we can get. And notice if your neck wants to do all the work or your chin wants to like reach for you. So one more time, inhale, lift. Exhale and round. Good, and then we'll switch sides. So right hand comes behind the head. Make sure this left hand is stacked underneath the shoulder. We got this good stacking of the joints mechanics going on. Inhale, right elbow lifts. Exhale, tuck the other under. That's it. Good, neck is relaxed. Middle spine's working. As you exhale, so you can get those side abs to help you twist. Inhale and lift. Exhale, big twist. Like you're blowing up your balloon or your straw, get them to help. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck under. So we'll go 3 more. Good, neck relaxed. Gaze stays neutral. You're still pressing into the ground with this left hand. The last one. Perfect, come back to neutral. Nice, we'll shake out our hands. Good. And then we're gonna come into plank from here. So we'll curl your toes under, stepping right back into your plank position. Good, take a big breath in. Again, feeling this stack, shoulders over elbows over wrists, pressing into the inside part of your hands, take a big breath in. And then exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Good. And we'll take a second in our down dog here. Moving around, notice how it feels to be here. Good, check in with that back side of your body. Good. Okay, now pause here. So find some stillness in your down dog. Take a breath in and see if you can notice upper back and chest. Breathing. Expanding, and then exhale, find your side abs. Try that again. Breathe in, upper back and chest. Neck is relaxed. Exhale, purse your lips, blow up a balloon, side abs on. One more time, big breath in. Blow up your balloon, side abs engage. Good, inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, heels lift round, step up to the top of your mat. Good, ragdoll pose at the top. Feet about hip width. Take a second to grab onto your elbows, bend your knees a bit, let your belly rest on your thighs, and then find some side to side movement. And then feel your breath here. In through your nose, upper back, chest, belly, middle back. Exhale, side up. Good, make sure your neck stays relaxed. Take another breath in. Exhale. Good. Release your hands. Side abs on. Inhale, halfway lift. Option for hands at shins or arms up to the sides. Exhale, fold. Inhale, stand all the way up. Nice, good. We'll take a big side bend. You can reach onto your wrist and pull over towards the right. Good. Notice if you use your neck to help you side bend. Breathe in. Relax your neck and your exhale. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Relaxed neck as you come down. Maybe you've got to move your head to get it to let go. Take a big breath in. Breathe out. Inhale, reach up nice and tall. Good, make sure you got your side abs on your exhale. Same goalpost arms we had earlier. Shoulder blades squeeze, chest lifts up towards the ceiling. Again, relax your neck. Let this movement come from the middle of your body rather than your head and your neck. Take one more breath in. Stay for the exhale. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plank. Pause and hold once you get down. Any plank will do. Hands, elbows, knees, toes. You got it. Keep your head in line with your spine. Good. That's it. Take a breath in. Can you get upper back and chest to expand? Stay for the exhale. Side abs on. One more time. Breathe in, expand. Exhale, side abs on. Good. This time, breathe in and expand. Exhale, lower to your belly. Good. That's it. Pause here. Put the tops of your feet down. Bend your elbows. We'll walk your hands back so you got 90 degrees in your elbows. Take a moment. Breathe in and find your side abs on your exhale. And then inhale, peel your head and chest up. Again, don't let your neck work. Don't let your head work. Make this move come from the middle of your body, and then your shoulder blades squeezing towards your spine and expansion in your chest. Pause, breathe in, breathe out. One more time, stay up. Take a big breath in, feel that expansion, and then exhale, lower all the way down. Inhale, tabletop. Woo! Exhale, round through your back. Keep your gaze neutral. Feel your side abs turn on and your back expand. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze forward. Can you get the upper back and chest to breathe? Good, back to neutral. Curl under, downward facing dog. Perfect. That's it. Pause here. Bend one knee and then the other a few times, shaking out your head and your neck. Good. Stay here. Pause in the middle. Take a big breath in. Feel your chest. Feel your upper back. Exhale. Side abs on. Good. Inhale. Heels lift. Feel that expansion. Exhale. Knees hover. Pause here in the hardest part. Breathe in. Exhale. Heels back. Down dog. Got it? Inhale. Heels lift. Exhale, knees hover. Feel your side abs turn on. Inhale, feel the expansion. Breathe. Exhale, heels back. One more time. Inhale, heels up. Exhale, knees hover. Inhale, expand. Neck relaxed. Exhale, down dog. Nice. Inhale, gaze forward. Exhale, step up. Round. Low ribs in. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, all the way up. Exhale, big side bend to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, other side. Good. Feel that expansion. Inhale, center, reach. Exhale, chest lift, shoulders squeeze. Neck relax. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, plank. Plant, step back, hold it. Good. Head back. Press the back of your head towards the ceiling so we get up in line with your spine. Relax your neck. Maybe turn it side to side a few times. Feel it. Feel your upper back. Take a big breath in. Try to get that expansion. Exhale, side out. Good. One more time. Big breath in. Exhale, lower to your belly. Woo! All right, arms up. Fingertips to the floor. Lower ribs pull in. Take a big breath in. Exhale, expand. Yeah, inhale, right arm lift. Exhale, lower. Side abs on. Inhale, expand. Chest and upper back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, tops of the feet press down, both hands up. Exhale, lower, side abs. Listen, inhale, expand, everything lift, feet and hands. Chest and upper back. Exhale, all the way down. Pause for a second, stack your hands, lower your forehead, bend your knees, let your feet go side to side. Little break. Big breath in. Big breath out. Good. Feet come back down, hands plant, inhale, tabletop. Good. Look at your fingertips. Exhale, round through your back, press into your hands to create that side abs on. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze forward. Try that one more time. Exhale, look at your fingernails. Press into the ground, side abs on. Inhale, neutral. Listen up, we're heading into some bird dogs here. So we're gonna keep those side abs on. They should be nice and firing right now. Kick your right leg back behind you. Good, nice and strong. Heel in line with your hip, in line with your shoulder. No higher. It's okay if it's lower. You can always bend the knee for a little bit less, okay? Keep pressing into your right hand. Get that nice expansion. Take a breath in. Exhale, side abs on. Reach your left arm forward. Good. Keep it tight. Low ribs in. Super strong. Can you breathe in and feel that same expansion, upper back and chest? Exhale, relax neck, but side abs turn on. One more time. Breathe in, upper back and chest. Exhale, side abs turn on. Nice. Set it down, shake it out. Woo. Good work, everybody. We'll head to the other side. Before we get there, tabletop, inhale, drop your belly, gaze forward. Exhale, round, keep your gaze at your fingertips, side abs on. Good. Inhale, back to neutral. Left leg behind you. Keep those side abs turned on, keep pressing into the ground. Good. Remember that same feeling of the head in line with the spine, neck is nice and neutral. Take a breath in. Side abs on the exhale. Reach your right arm forward. That's it. Keep pressing this left arm into the ground. Breathe in. Find that expansion through your upper back. Keep your neck neutral. Exhale, side abs. Give me two more, just like that. Breathe in. Feel that expansion. Exhale, side abs to support. Neck in line with your spine. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Set it down. Shake it out. Nice job, everybody. I know that's tough. Sit back for a second. Let's circle out through the wrists. Whew. Are you getting lightheaded? sometimes that happens. Obviously, we're focusing a lot on our breathing, but as we're really focusing on these deep breaths, we're getting more gas exchange to actually happen through our lungs because our diaphragm's able to fully ascend and descend in these positions. So it's more exchange, so we end up getting a little more oxygen in our system than what we're used to at one time. So you might feel a little bit kind of flighty. So if you need a sec at any point to like sit down, take a little rest, please do it, okay? Good. All right. We're heading back to downward facing dog from here. So when you're ready, we'll plant the hands, find those side abs, curl your toes, come back, find your downward facing dog. Good. That's it, everybody. All right, here it is. Big breath in, find that expansion. On your exhale, find your neutral down dog. Walk your feet together at the back of your mat. And then inhale, kick your right leg overhead, bend your knee, stack your hip for half scorpion dog. Good, so pausing here. Now breathe in, find that expansion. And breathe out. Side abs turn on. Can just stay here, or if you feel like flipping your dog today, you can play around with that a little bit. So we'll drop your right leg to the ground, your right arm will reach forward. Can you keep feeling that expansion through your chest and upper back? And your side abs on, your neck is neutral. Good, flip dogs, carefully make your way back. So we'll end up with this right leg up in the air. And then as you exhale, knee to nose, side abs on, keep your head lifted and neutral, and then slowly step your foot forward. Good, we're gonna meet up in a crescent lunge. So back foot tucked behind you. Good. So really utilizing that space as you step forward into this position, right? Kind of round through your back, but keeping your neck neutral, which really uses those side abs to get up. So we'll practice that on the other side when we get there. Pause here, we'll take a moment to reach your arms overhead. Ooh, that feels good. Got nice, good mobility through the shoulders here. Take a second to reach up nice and tall. Take a breath in. Nice, good expansion. Exhale, side abs on. Good, take a big breath in. Warrior two on your exhale, we'll open right on up. Good, pausing here. Okay, so we've worked like almost exclusively this upper body. So stay with all those pieces, and then let's add in a little bit here at the lower body. So finding that external rotation through your front leg. Find your inner thighs on both sides. Take a big breath in. Side abs on the exhale. We're just kind of settling into this front heel. Good, now reach forward without the chin helping, okay? So reach forward with your fingertips and your core, and then exhale, tilt down into side angle. So notice where you want to use your neck in these positions. Keep pressing into that front heel. Maybe you move your head a little bit intentionally just to like make it let go. Big breath in. Can you still feel that expansion, upper back and chest? Exhale, still side out. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out. Good, pause here on your inhale, reverse your warrior. Right arm reaches up and up. Good, again, is your neck helping you get that twist and that reach? Or are you doing it from that middle part of your body? Good, keep your inner thighs on, nice and strong through the legs. Take a big breath in. Big breath out. All right, we are gonna make our way into a side plank with our left hand at the base. So as we come up, we'll inhale, reach, and then exhale, left hand comes forward. So you're gonna twist at your body, come onto the ball of your back foot, and drop your left hand to the ground. Couple of options from here. You could step right on back if that works for your body. You could drop to your knee and then step back. And then lift a leg or not, okay? Any options that feel good here? Notice what's happening right away with your neck, with your head. Can you keep it neutral? Can you breathe in and still find that expansion? Breathe out, still find those side abs. stabilizing through the shoulder joint. Press your hand into the ground. Make sure your shoulders stack right over it. Take a big breath in. Exhale, plank pose. Carefully bring your right hand to the ground. Coming back. Big breath in. Stay with it. Head in line with your spine. Exhale, lower all the way to your belly. Good. Pause. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Cobra on the inhale. Keep those side abs engaged. Make sure your head's not doing the work here. It's that middle part of your body. Here we go. Breathe in and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale, press up, tabletop. Exhale, round through your spine. Keep your knees neutral. Inhale, drop your belly, gaze forward. Good. Curl your toes under. Downward facing dog. Everybody doing all right? Take a second. Take a big breath in. Give me a big lion's breath. Open your mouth. Stick your tongue out. One more time like that. Big breath in. Big old lion's breath. Let it go. Shake it up. Check in with your neck. All right, other side. Here we go. Inhale. Exhale, finding that down dog. Low ribs in, feet together, back of your mat. Left leg comes up this time. Bend your knees, stack your hip. Stay here or flip your dog. Make sure you're still pressing into this right hand. You're super stable through the shoulder. Your neck is relaxed. Your head's following along. Super strong through the shoulders. Breathe in. Big exhale, finding side out. Nice. Flip dogs, make your way back carefully. Okay, so we're going to focus on the stepping forward. Can you round through your back using your side abs here? So take a big breath in. Nice, good expansion. Exhale, side abs on. Knee comes into your chest. Keep your neck neutral as you come onto the ball of your back foot and then step your left leg forward. Rise up to crescent lunge. Good, so as we're breathing, we're creating more expansion. We're not using the neck. We're using our breathing mechanics to make our bodies move better. Good, make sure you're in a nice, good position here as you come up. You've got your inner thighs on, got a little extra rotation this front leg. Nice big arms reach. Good, let's breathe in, feel that awesome expansion, upper back and chest here. Exhale, side ab. Nice, try that one more time, big breath in. Nice, big exhale. Good, take one more inhale. Warrior two, open up. Good, check in with your neck, check in with your head. Not too crazy here in our warrior two until we start moving, against gravity. But just make sure your neck stays nice and neutral. You got a little bit of that shoulder blade engagement towards the spine. So we're activating through the upper back. At the same time, we're getting expansion every time we breathe in. Let's take it. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Now, without letting your chin or your neck do the work, can you inhale, reach with your fingers, but make it really come from your core. Exhale, side angle. Good. Now make sure that your head's in a neutral position so that your neck doesn't feel like it's turned on here. You might just need to move your head more in line with your spine if you're feeling your neck engaged. Breathe in. Breathe out. So that inner thighs happen. Good. One more here. Big breath in. Big breath out. Nice. Here we go. Inhale, reverse. Good, same thing. Neck is neutral. Breathe in. Breathe out. Side abs on the exhale. Think about expanding on the inhale. All right, taking one more big breath in. On the exhale, our right hand's going to be our side plank. So we're going to come through warrior two. Right arm comes forward. We're spinning on the ball of our back foot. Plant right hand on the ground directly underneath your shoulder. And then you can either drop to right knee and then step left leg back, or you can bring it all back together. And we'll stack. Make sure that your head's in line with your spine as you find that stacked position. So your neck is neutral. And we're breathing in, expanding, exhale, side. Keep that focus. We got 2 more. All the way in, expand, neck neutral. All the way out, side abs. One more time. Breathe in. Can you press a little more into this right hand? Stay for the exhale. Nice. Plank pose. One more breath in. Hold it tight. Neck neutral. As we're transitioning, keep it strong. Breathe in. Exhale all the way down to your belly. Color work, everybody. Let's take a little break. Stack your hands, let your forehead come down, bend your knees, let your feet go side to side. Whew. Little movement. Perfect time to grab a sip of water as well if you want a little drink. You're able to take just these giant deep breaths. Is it feeling easier? Hopefully. All right, my friends, we have made it to the peak pose of our class today. So we're going to come up to hands and knees, and we'll just take a second to sit back on your heels so I can kind of give you the little demo. So we're going to practice a tripod today, and I'll give an option for if you'd rather work into dolphin and plank instead, if that's better for your shoulders. That's a great option to level it down just a little bit. What I want us to really focus on is continuing to find this like pressing into the ground to create stabilization through the shoulders. At the same time, our neck stays really neutral. So a lot of times when we start to get into these positions, especially where we get our butts over our upper bodies, right, we tend to like really reach around with our neck and kind of get a little discombobulated. So I want us to focus on expansion as we breathe, side abs on the exhale, and pressing into the ground to create that almost like hollow body feeling through the upper back. Okay, so tripod looks like coming into tabletop, you drop down onto your elbows, and you can interlace or you can go hands to the floor. I think it's a little easier to interlace. It gives me a little bit more control, but if you prefer the other way, that's totally fine. And then you'll pop up on to your balls of your feet, just like you would in a dolphin, right? So this is essentially dolphin pose. And then we're gonna walk ourselves, I'm doing this wrong, this isn't a tripod. That's a dolphin, just kidding. Tripod, you plant your hands on the ground, and then we come back into a plank pose. So you want your neck to be nice and neutral here. And then you walk your feet up. So we're kind of into the squat position, and you're gonna put your knees right on the backs of your elbows, and then carefully drop your head to the ground. Focus on finding that pressing into the ground to create expansion through your upper back, and then bringing the feet together. So carefully in that position. It's a lot on the wrist, right? So just be careful. If you prefer to work, right, this dolphin in and out of plank, if that's better for your body, that's okay. You can work there as well. You're going to get a lot of work in that expansion. Make sure your neck stays relaxed. So we're going to take a couple of minutes, kind of play around with those positions. Nice. If you're working in your tripod and it feels like you could lift your head off the ground, that's sort of the next level there, if that's where you want to work. But you're going to have that same like pressing into the ground position, right? So it's just a lot of work through the arms, yep, through the shoulders. So you can continue to find that expansion. Think about stacking your pelvis right over your shoulders, your knees right over your elbows. Yeah. Oh yeah, good job. You can always put a block underneath your head as well. So if you're feeling like you're playing around with that tripod and getting to the ground is just a little bit much, We can get the head right on the ground to begin with and then lift the feet.
Yeah, this is hard.
So really try to press into the ground to create a little bit more stabilization through the shoulders. And then use those side abs as you exhale. Keep finding expansion as you breathe in so we don't lose this connection with our neck. Nice. Nice work, everybody. Good. Let's take about another minute or so, and then we're going to meet in a child's pose. So whenever you're finished, we'll head down into child. And we'll start to wind it down a little bit. Nice. Good. Controlling those side abdominals to help use that strength. And then breathe into your chest and upper back. Nice. When you get down to your child pose, just let everything go here for a few moments. Let your forehead come to the floor. Maybe you let your head go a little bit side to side. Perfect. And let's take this into a thread the needle. So we're going to stay back in our child's pose, and we'll take our right arm and just reach it underneath with your palm up, chest going through to the opposite side. Kind of like that stretch we did at the beginning of class, but we're able to put a little bit more pressure into that stretch. Make sure your neck stays relaxed here. So if you need to grab your block and slide it underneath your head, you could do that. Or maybe the opposite arm comes underneath the head. Good. As you exhale in this position, can you pull those side abs in and allow your middle and lower back to stretch? Good. Let's slowly come back, and we'll just switch sides. The left hand comes underneath this time, coming down onto that shoulder, supporting the head and the neck. Can you still feel that expansion through your upper back? Through your chest? As you exhale, maybe there's this slight, kind of very slight tucking feeling through the pelvis, so we got a little bit more stretch through middle and lower back. Good. Take one more breath in, make sure your neck is relaxed. Nice slow exhale. Good. Slowly coming back out, and then we'll come right onto your belly. So we'll walk the legs out. Good. And then we'll come into wing pose, just getting some nice good movement through the shoulders. So we'll take wing as a straight out stretch today. So right arm's going to come straight out, hand out from the shoulder. If you need this stretch to be a little bit less intense, you can bend your elbows so you can't go quite as deep into that shoulder joint. So just option there if you want it. Left hand plants, and then we'll slowly roll into that right side. So you're going to try to get your hips to stack, your knees can bend. Again, make sure that you're protecting your head and your neck. So if you want to bring left hand underneath the side of your head, you can absolutely do that. Grab your blanket that we used at the beginning of class. Okay, so a couple of things here. Make sure neck stays relaxed, number one. Make sure you can feel that expansion through your chest and your upper back. Use your side abs and your exhale to help support the twist. Now, if you need a little bit more sensation, you can roll back to your belly, bend through your elbow. You're going to get more of a stretch into the muscle, your pec muscle. If you want to do it that way, that's a great way to change it up a little bit. Make sure that your elbow stays up in line with your shoulder. Good. And let's stay here. Take 2 more nice big breaths in and out, really feeling that expansion through upper back, through your chest, your belly, your rib cage. Good. Slowly back to the middle. And we'll roll all the way over onto your left side. And then just take a moment to circle up this right arm. Good. And then we'll swap. All right. Left arm goes out to the side on this side. And then we'll use right hand to gently help us roll. Remember, there's always that option to bend through the elbow. Keeps it a little safer if you got anything going on in your joint. Typically, you'll feel more sensation because you'll get more muscle stretch. So whichever way you'd like to do this. And then you're working to sort of stack your hips or get close to that. I always like to give my knees a little bend here to make sure there's not too much pressure on the lower back. Some of you are going to be able to reach this top leg way up and over. If you're doing that, make sure that you're really aware of your side abdominals to help support that, because it's a ton of leverage into that middle part of our body. It's totally fine. Just make sure you're doing it really smartly, okay? Still feel that expansion. Big breath in, rib cage, belly, chest, upper back. All the way down. Okay, let's do 2 more big breaths. All the way in, feel like expansion, upper back especially. All the way out on the exhale, feel those side abs engage. 1 more, breathe in. All the way out. And then slowly back to the middle. And then we'll make our way onto our backs from here. So you're welcome to just roll over if you'd like to sit up and walk through, make your way to your back. That's also fine. Nice. Once we're here, we're going to come down onto our backs, hugging knees in towards your chest. Good. Let's find a couple of circles. And reverse. Good. And let's come into happy babies. So before you do it, take a breath in. Find your side abs on your exhale. Let your tailbone lift up a little bit. And see if that helps you get your knees to come a little bit closer to your belly. And you're able to grab your feet just a little easier. So we're continually to exhale and then feeling that kind of tucking of the tailbone action as we expand through our middle and lower part of our back, using those internal obliques and transverse abdominis to help pull our body into this position. Nice. Okay, we're gonna take this into a supine twist. So release your feet, hug your knees in, and then right leg crosses over left. And then we'll drop your knees over to the left hand side. So right leg's on top, we'll drop your knees to the left. You can always scoot your hips a little bit to the right if you'd like. Take a big breath in, feel your chest expand. Nice big exhale, release the side abs, turn off. Try that one more time. Make sure your neck stays totally relaxed. Breathe in. Breathe out. Good. Slowly back to the middle. Unravel. Take a moment to hug in. And we'll go left leg on top. Knees to the right. You can scoot your hips to the left a little bit if you like. Okay, get that good expansion through your chest. Good. Give me one more big breath in. Nice big exhale. Good. Slowly back to center. Any last moves you want to take before we find final Shavasana? Now is your time to do that. And then I also wanted to offer, in case you feel like you want just a little bit more kind of gentle chest stretch, you could come back to that sushi roll and lay in your supported fish pose at the end of practice if you wanted to. So if you felt like you couldn't get the back of your hands to your mat without arching your back, you want to put those blocks back underneath. But I hope that over the course of the last hour, the majority of us will be able to just kind of easily flop the hands back. You can keep your knees bent. You can even walk your knees in, let your feet go wide. And just relax into that gentle position. Very close. We'll take one more big breath in. You can relax your side abs on the exhale. Just let it be normal. We'll slowly start to bring a little movement back in the feet. If you're on that blanket, we'll carefully roll to your side and we'll just make our way back up together. Nice. We'll take hands together at our hearts. The light of me honors, bows and surrenders to the light within each of you. Nice.